weather and whatnot. Hopefully Leica's good. She's looking at us like, can I join?
Oh, baby. Well, it's fine, even if she's not.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, she should be okay. And the only things we're gonna be using today is the blocks. So you won't need your belts or anything. And then we're gonna start standing up actually. And this little class is gonna be for the hips and the low back, and it's gonna be more for athletes than people who are looking for like a therapeutic class or restorative or yin. So it won't be too difficult, but maybe a little bit more energizing. So we're gonna start standing tall.
Or down.
Making sure we've got a tall spine, dropping the shoulders down, opening the palms. And real quick before we begin, actually, just making sure that your blocks are right in front of you. We're gonna be grabbing them during our poses, and it's easier if we get that set up at a time. Sorry. And then when that's all set up, we can stretch the arms all the way up, bringing the hands together for prayer, and then diving down with the chest, hands behind you, coming into a forward fold, letting the hips be high, head dangling, pushing up halfway lift, lengthening the spine, setting the hands down. We're gonna walk back to plank and then chaturanga down, squeezing the elbows to the rib cage, swimming through, heart through the shoulders, and then sending the hips up for down dog. Again, lifting the hips high, melting the chest towards your thighs, getting the rib cage towards your thighs, looking at your belly button. And then we can walk our feet up to our hands. Halfway lift, lengthening the spine, and a forward fold here. Raising both arms behind you, that'll pull you all the way up. And then dropping hands down to heart center, taking a deep breath. Sitting down into chair pose, and just a light chair pose. We don't need to go too extreme. Just gently tucking the tailbone in, sitting very lightly. You can look and see if you can bring the knees back just a little bit, but you can see your toes. And then dropping the hands, we're going to push hands out and then pushing the spine away for bear pose. Taking a breath here. And sending the arms back. This pose is called chair plane. So you're welcome to stay here with your heels down. You're also welcome to just maybe try out your balance on your tiptoes, and gently coming down. Hands can come to heart center. We're just going to revolve this chair pose, turning towards the left. And you can hook it on the knee, but if that's too deep to begin with, you can always just have this revolved in the air, really light. It's up to you what you need. Taking a breath and coming back to center slowly, just rotating to the other side. Again, it can be up in the air or you can hook on the knee. Turning over the right shoulder, taking a breath. Back to center. We're gonna drop down our hands, walk the feet back into, it's called loaded position. So The knees are bent generously and you're melting your rib cage towards the thighs. And then we're just gonna do a front step up to the hands, press back, front step on the other side, press back. So we'll just do that about 5 times each side in total.
You're fine.
Couple more. And then on that 10th one, let's get the left leg up in lunge. And then you can drop the back knee, drop the back toes flat. And we can just kind of hang out here. You're welcome to use the blocks if you'd like. That way you can really press your weight through your hands and drop into the hip a little bit more. You can always get a little bit deeper without the blocks as well. You can have the hands on the inside or frame the foot, just whatever feels best for right now. And then we can stretch back, straighten out this left leg, sending your hips back, toes lift up. And then we'll bend this front knee, dipping into the hips again. Just kind of go through that flow about 5 times.
Over. 3.
And then when you're ready, we can lift up our hands, coming into crescent pose, where it's just a little bit of a back bend. Your eyes are at your thumbs, and the thumbs are reaching back for that wall behind you. Back foot, just a little bit of a back bend, making sure you can breathe. And gently coming down. We're gonna lift the back toe so that the back knee comes up, and then the left arm floats up towards the ceiling. You can stretch the arm back like you're trying to touch something behind you. And then coming back to center, we're gonna use both blocks, our hands on each one, and we're putting our weight into it so that the back foot is light and can float up. Then this left leg is straight, and you're welcome to keep your hands here. They could be on a tall setting as well. Or you can challenge yourself to just see if you can lift up a little bit to warrior 3. The right foot is lifted, both arms, and we slowly float all the way up, bringing this right knee up high as you can, taking a big breath here. And then on the exhale, you can grab that foot, and it's up to you. It could be on the ankle, the calf, the thigh. Finding a tree pose that works for you. We're gonna lift the arms up, and then we're gonna kind of get into this crescent shape by pushing the left rib cage out, and both arms are pointed the same direction as your knee, your right knee. Coming back to center, it's fine if we fall down, wobble, setting the right knee down. We can fold down all the way, hands on the mat, and then just get this left leg back where the right leg is in front for lunge. And you can set this left knee down, back foot flat. You can rock into the hip just a little bit. And then when you're ready, Just going between that flow of half splits and then into this lunge position. Out 5 times, using the breath here. Exhaling as you're going out of the posture. Inhaling as you come into it. And then we can lift both hands up. We're really dropping into the hip a little bit more. We're going to keep our gaze at our thumb. So our thumbs take us back. Got an open heart, open chest, open rib cage. Taking one more breath here. And melting down. Gonna set the hands on the mat. Left toe is active, left knee lifts up. Right arm floats up towards the ceiling. Easy twist. Opening up this right arm like you're gonna touch something behind you. Coming back to the center, both hands heavy into the blocks. And we're gonna put all our weight into it so that this back leg floats up. Maybe you take your blocks on the highest setting here. Maybe you lift up the arms, warrior 3 for a moment. As we lift all the way up, left knee comes up high. Taking a breath here. Exhaling, getting into tree pose. Take your time getting into the posture. Hands coming up, together, and towards the knee for a crescent shape, pushing out of the right rib cage. It's fine if you wobble. Try to think about spreading your right toes and grounding down through the right foot. Coming back to center, dropping the foot. We're gonna ground down through the left leg. So the right one is light. We're gonna send it back. See if you can lift up in that warrior 3 position. So you set it down, coming into warrior 1. This back foot is at a 45-degree angle, kind of like an X. And then we're squaring our hips towards the front, lifting the arms up. Warrior 1. And you can really feel in the back heel, the right heel, we're sending our weight down through this back leg all the way down to the heel. So we open up to warrior 2, looking over this left middle finger. Taking a breath here. Dropping the back arm for reverse warrior, left arm overhead. And then coming into side angle, left arm sets on the left knee, right arm overhead, reaching as much as you can. Both hands come to the blocks. All your weight is going down through the blocks so this back leg lifts up. And then we can have our right arm lift up and our whole body is opening up, lifting up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath here and setting everything down for a forward fold. Deep breath here. Lifting up, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Last thing to come up is the head, arms all the way up, dropping down to heart center. Grounding down through the right leg, left foot is light. We're slowly making our way into this warrior 3, lifting up, and then the back Left foot sets down at a 45-degree angle, coming into warrior one. Taking a breath here. Maybe you can flare out this right knee a bit more. And opening warrior two. This left arm drops down the back leg for reverse warrior. Big reach and breath. And coming down, side angle, left arm overhead. Big breath here, feeling that long stretch in the left side body. Both hands are going to set down on the blocks, putting all our weight into them. The left leg lifts up, left arm lifts up. And just finding our balance. One more breath. And dropping down the hands, the foot, and letting your upper body just dangle down with gravity, shifting left and right, swing. And then we can rise up. All right, arms lift all the way up to the ceiling, down to heart center. Left leg grounds down, right leg lifts up, stepping back to warrior one again. Back leg is at a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to shift to pyramid. So our legs are going to straighten and our arms, they could be on your thighs. That's a good place to begin with. Setting your hands on your thighs, just letting the spine be elongated as you can, really tall here. And then maybe you can bring the hands down to your knee. Lengthen out the spine a little bit more. Maybe drop down the hands to your shin. Wherever you can kind of find that threshold if you don't think you can reach anymore. Maybe it's your ankle. Just kind of finding that place and really lengthening the spine here. And then taking your block, we're going to set it on the outside of our left foot. The right hand comes across the body, placing weight into the block. Left hand is light, reaching up towards the ceiling for reverse triangle. Just taking a breath here. And gently coming back to pyramid. And then we're going to just swing towards the right for a wide leg straddle. And from here we can reach for each ankle one at a time. Lifting the arm up for a twist. And just try out each ankle one or two times. And then we'll just crawl our way back to the top, bringing the feet together, rising all the way up, hands back to heart center, grounding down through the right leg. We're gonna take this left foot back to warrior one, so that back foot is at a 45-degree angle, arms are up. And then we're going to straighten the legs, placing the hands on the thigh, lengthening the spine as we kind of slide the hands down. And our chest is following this track of where our hands are overlaid. The chest and the hands should be similar. So just trying to find how low you can go here where it doesn't alter the pose too much. You can still have a long spine. Bring the block to the outside of the right foot. Left arm goes across the body, right arm all the way up. Reverse triangle, just taking a breath here. And coming back to center. We're gonna swing towards the left for a wide leg straddle here. You can really get the hips high, heavy down through the elbows. Just taking turns, reaching for one ankle at a time, lifting one arm, getting a good twist here. And crawling our way back to the top. We're just gonna walk the feet back and make our way onto our stomach now. We're gonna get the blocks out of the way. As we lower onto our stomach, we can take our hands that are underneath our shoulders and then interlace the fingers behind your back and then pulling your hands together and behind you, far back as you can, curling up the shoulders, chest, lifting up both feet, taking a deep breath here. Maybe you can lift up a little more. One more breath. And dropping the arms, the shoulders, the feet, and pushing up to tabletop. We're just gonna get into sleeping swan. This might be a better angle. So it's very close to pigeon. Pigeon is more of a 90-degree angle. And sleeping swan, you're creating this long line where your foot is almost underneath you. The foot is taking place where your left hip is. So just melting into that, you might take a little bit of time to get comfortable. Drop the head down, chest down. And we'll just take about 5 really slow rounds of breath here. Trying to lengthen out the inhale as much as you can. And slowing down the exhale. And when you're ready, gently making your way back to tabletop. And then the left leg can come forward for sleeping swan. And take your time getting there. And we'll slow down the breath as much as we can for about 5 rounds. And we can gently sit off to our left side on the hip, make our way onto our back. And then we can just bring the right leg on top. And then we're gonna just get into this threaded position Bringing the right shin closer to the chest. Slowing down the breath. And breathing into the low back. Breathing into the hips. And we can gently switch sides when you're ready, getting the left shin in front. And really bringing it a bit closer to your chest. Breathing into that sensation in the left hip. And letting go of the legs. Just coming into bound angle. It's up to you how close you want your feet up to your hips, which is a bit more difficult, and having your feet away from the hips is a bit more easy. So just finding where it feels good. You can also put blocks, one block under each knee is a bit more restorative. It's good support. And it's nice to have one hand on the stomach, one hand on your chest. Just taking a couple minutes here to slow down with the breath. And feel the support of the ground so that we can completely soften and let go. And then when you're ready, feel free to roll to one side. Just gently push yourself all the way up, no rush. Just keeping the eyes closed, we can just close out the practice with a deep breath, filling up the lungs as much as you can. Pausing at the top, noticing all that space, letting go, emptying out the breath completely, dropping the shoulders, gently opening the eyes, bringing your attention back. Thank you guys so much. I hope your hips and low back feel good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Glad you survived your puppy. We survived ours, albeit Issa is still held down.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Dory decided that you are now my chair, so I'm gonna sit on you.
Yeah, I didn't get
They liked the in pose too then.
They're like, good.
So she was good-ish.